Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. All the Mods 10 has come to the sky, and today I'm starting with chapter 1 of the quest book. My goal is to finish chapter 1 entirely, automate some simple machines, and begin the long journey towards the ultimate goal, the All the Mods Star. So, first things first, we need to choose our island design. I really like that this pack has some new design choices compared to the previous version, and it feels good to have a lot of space to build this time. Now, with chapter 1 is my main focus. This part feels like a classic modded SkyBlock beginning, guiding us through the essential early game items. So, we start by crouch right clicking the ground to get some pebbles. From those pebbles, we can craft cobblestone and other basic blocks. Next, it's time to farm some wood. Luckily, growing trees, it's just that simple. I just spam the crouch key and they grow up instantly. That simple. One important step is to use the crooks to gather silkworms. When I put the worms on the leaves, the tree become infested. I don't know why, but this time the leaves infested very quickly. I don't think it's meant to go that fast, but hey, I'm not complaining. Breaking the infested leaves with the crook gives me string and more silkworms to replant them in trees and gather more string. Using the cobblestone crafted from the pebbles, I can crush it into gravel, then gravel into sand, and finally sand into dust. Using the string, I can craft a sieve and string mesh. This is where things really open up, because sieving gravel, sand and dust gives me different ores and items. As we upgrade the meshes to higher tiers, we'll even get rare drops like emeralds and diamonds. After some grinding, I finally crafted a copper hammer. With this tool, I can start doubling the output of my ores. For example, 1 iron ore equals 2 iron dust, and each dust is 1 ingot. Now, next up is clay. By combining dust with water, I make clay blocks, and with some bone meal, we get porcelain. 7 porcelain makes a crucible, and with it, I can start producing lava. Placing cobblestone inside the crucible above a heat block, in this case a torch, will slowly generate lava. Finally, some basic production. Using vanilla dripstone mechanics, lava becomes infinite because it will generate over time. The same goes for cobblestone. Instead of crouching forever to get pebbles, I can place a cobblestone generator. This block automatically produces cobble from water and lava, and with a drawer on top, everything is collected. It's that simple. For dirt, I compose leaves in barrels. Sieving dirt works the same way as gravel, giving me seeds, bamboo, and most importantly, mycelium seeds. Since most of my automation would happen down in the basement, I set up a small dirt patch and planted one mycelium seed to spread. Placing a barrel of water on top of a mycelium block, it converts it into witch water, which is super useful for creating blocks like soul sand, netherite, and blackstone. Generating energy is pretty easy when you have lava. The magmatic generator burns lava for energy, with which I can use my first tech machine, the metallurgic infuser from Mechanism. This machine is the gateway for me to the beginning of the tech side in this pack. My first goal is to craft a capacitor to store the energy I produce. From there, I add two more essential machines, the alloy smelter and the sag mill from Ender.io, which is one of my favorite tech mods since the 1.12 era. Before placing them, I decided to move everything downstairs into the basement. I also crafted a few wind turbines, which provide passive power, so I don't have to rely only on lava anymore. The crucibles and cobblestone generator also moved downstairs, and now everything compacts into drawers. With all that extra cobblestone, I upgraded my meshes all the way to diamond, and even upgraded the generator itself for even more production. To be honest, I got pretty sick of just eating baked potatoes, so I decided that making an animal farm would be ideal long term. But, well, there is a problem. No animals are spawning on my island, and I've got plenty of grass blocks. But since I'm in a stony shore biome, passive mobs simply can't spawn here. That means that I'll have to travel and find another biome if I want animals. On top of that, I need a lot more dirt. To fix this, I dive into integrated dynamics. Using a mechanical squeezer, I can turn mud into dirt. Before moving on, I shifted my priorities to netherite. To craft netherite, I need a lot of ancient debris, and the easiest way to get it is by sieving Blackstone. Now, how do I get Blackstone? Well, the trick is using the haunting fan from Create. Create is one of the most popular modes out there. It has become so polished that many players treat it like a vanilla extension. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Create, but when it comes to getting Blackstone in this pack, to be honest, this is the easiest method by far. The fan also requires some power, and at this stage that means sticking with Create's early game mechanics. Water wheels are the easiest options, so I set up a few with shafts and cogwheels. With that, the haunting fan is up and running. And after sieving all the blackstone I got, I ended up with plenty of ancient debris, for now. The final quest in chapter 1 is to craft a netherite mesh and a netherite generator. The mesh requires a netherite smithing template, which in turn is crafted from a diamond smithing template. To make that happen, I also need a few materials from the Apotheosis mod. They're not too complicated to get, but I do need gems that drop randomly from hostile mobs. So I built a small mob farm to get plenty of mob drops and gems, which I salvaged for the required resources. With the netherite mesh and generator crafted, chapter 1 is officially complete. But wait, actually I forgot something. One slime block. Now, it's done.